there's a difference between, and you said this earlier, Coach, as we were discussing the matter, there's a difference between being in supercompensation mode metabolically and being depleted. Those are not the same thing. One is the ultimate degree of the other, which takes the body past a point of regulation to where metabolism tends to down-regulate.
Yeah, we talked about it previously and made the point of you kind of go through the stages of where you get to supercompensation, and then depletion is the furthest point you can go on that your body stage. That'll really allow you to go there, and you can't maintain that level of depletion, which it actually is. Supercomp you can't maintain forever, but you can certainly maintain it in shorter bursts, and that's basically where the cycle diet comes in. And more about that on the DVD, and we won't get into that here, but a smaller degree of depletion like that can be manipulated slightly more, whereas competition depletion, there's no manipulating that. That's a phase that has to be short term, and it has to be turned around.
It's still costly.
Yeah, very costly.
It's still costly. The body,
metabolically.
Yeah, if you're peaking your physique cosmetically, there's a metabolic price to pay for that. There's no way around that. How consequential that will be has to do with what we call the cumulative effects of metabolic regulation, the compensation system of the body, which is actually a long-term phenomenon. It's not a short-term phenomenon. So when we talk about peaking the body metabolically or cosmetically, we're talking about supercomp mode. We're talking about not just a diet approach, but a training approach. And when you take your body into being cosmetically absolute, as in contest ready, you can't do metabolic training. It's not possible. No. So if you do, you become even more depleted. You become in that depletion zone. And then the mistake people make, Coach, is after the contest or after that peak cosmetically, they think they're in supercomp mode because they get to eat freely for a few days without repercussions. Yeah. But that's that short-term window. That's not supercomp, that's depletion. Yeah. And take that away, Coach. I'm going to get my calculator to show, but you talk while I'm doing that.
Yeah, that basically that little window for people, which is usually a couple, 3 days at the most, where they're able to eat freely, and they think that that's a result of their metabolism being elevated. It has nothing to do with their metabolism being elevated. It's the exact opposite, actually. They've gotten to that point because of such severe depletion that all they're really doing is bringing their body back to filling up the tank, basically, is what they're doing.
Right, and the body's not super compensating at that point, it's overcompensating.
Yeah.
Which is completely different because the metabolism has now down-regulated. You're not burning calories like you were, say, 8 weeks into the diet. Yeah. You're burning calories at a much lower level.